Everybody, Robert Dunt from ArtTop10.com, and here we are yet again at Frieze Art Fair. This time it's 2021, so we're just about to head inside and they can check all our double jab info in the hope we get let in. Okay, so let's go and have a look. I was just wandering off to get our black COVID wristband, which you've got to have before you're allowed in. You've got to go to the, I don't know, whatever it is behind me, COVID checking point. So, the Frieze COVID cleared badge is on. Alright. Here we are, everybody, strolling around Frieze London 2021. Made it inside. Maybe a few less people than usual, probably because they're not allowing you in easily. But anyway, yeah, let's have a little stroll around and see what we can find. Sadie Cole's gallery with a few Sarah Lucas things. And a big gold circle. And these things over here that... And these things always blow my mind a bit because I mean they're no better or worse than any other kind of piece of painting in a way, I would say. Anyway, let's keep on strolling around, see what happens. Some nice, probably late paintings by John Hoyland, which I always like. Quite like a bit of John Hoyland pictures. Oh, there's a little one there. It's kind of funky. Still got that kind of spacey kind of vibe going into it with that sort of throwing paint, which is always fun. Big yellow line. Apparently, if you turned up after midday to the studio, you'd already disappeared to the pub. So you had to arrive early. It's got a few little Tracy Emin things lurking around this one, and a few other things. There must be a variety of things. Some of these are prints. Oh no, that's just like a felt tip drawing. I'll show you that one's by. Yeah, cool. Still strolling around. Here we are. Maureen Paley. Oh, interesting. All of these places are using QR codes so you can find out more about the work. They should be looking into tap art, which is an even more effective way of doing it. I'm strolling through with Frieze Sculpture. And down here we've got these little teeny tiny postcard things. Got a weird creature. He's done a weird creature. Chroma Benama. What's it up there? A Benama. Got a big black canvas there. Strolling on through around to the other bits.
There's counter editions that
a bit of sort of cartoony stuff.
So they actually are doing the best one. So they go
down here, gallery from New York. Mostly most galleries literally just seem to have one piece by each of their people, so you don't really get to see a consistency of what people have produced. You almost get like a sort of one-off hit of their work, which is quite strange actually. Because I was at the other art fair yesterday, because each of those artists has taken a stand for themselves, they've got quite a lot of their own. You can see a consistency of what they produce, but you have no idea of the consistency of a lot of these things. They've just got loads of different single shots of artwork, which I've actually never really clocked as such before, but it's actually quite interesting the way it's done like that. It's always a strange thing wandering around Frieze, because obviously it's meant to be the pinnacle of contemporary art, but you get very straightforward things like a house or something like that. It's not always groundbreaking, and why is that house there? Why is that so contemporary? I think a lot of it is to do with it's a value proposition of what is here, as in these galleries say this is worth a lot, you should be thinking about it. There's like, this is David Werner, who's that one? That's Oscar Murillo. Oscar Murillo was dead years ago, maybe not. That must be a Gary Hume. I haven't heard anything about Gary Hume for years anymore. It's a weird thing though, isn't it? I mean, why do some of these things, I mean, how do they make them? How do they make them command a higher price through that value proposition, saying these are the most important things? Which I suppose, since you've got to a point where you don't have quality of drawing or any of those things, it really is a sort of value proposition built on whatever you want to build it on. So it doesn't have to be anything. It doesn't have to be anything of any quality to any degree, because the quality is defined by somebody telling you it's quality. And of course, that's the whole thing about Frieze. That's why you've got to get your COVID wrist pass before you get in. Probably because the rich people are a bit scared of getting COVID if they wander around it. But also it's the value proposition again, that this is serious, that you're not allowed in unless you're properly vaccinated and all this sort of stuff. You know, because obviously they're taking more care of you, they're thinking about it more seriously, because it is, again, a value proposition. Anyway, I'm honestly slightly fascinated with value propositions at the moment, because certainly with art they're particularly relevant, aren't they? Because it is all about what people are telling you this is valued and why it's valued, because objectively you can't necessarily see any values or anything. Yeah, a bit more strolling going on. Oh look, some shiny people in a big, thick, heavy painted thing. Some more pictures over there. Uncle Verno. Deserted COVID village by Julian Opie, which is quite funky, not like what you normally think of them. Some nice little Michael Craig Martins, I always quite like these. These must be prints, mustn't they? Nice punchy colours, as usual. So again, on the sort of bland thing, something like that, you know, it's a big, okay, fine sort of painting, but it's quite bland. It's not offensive. It's wonderful. But you know, you could stick it in a hotel lobby just as well as stick it in your room. Does it actually blow your mind or not? I don't know. Even that is sort of in a way still unoffensive. It's just a big bit of red and yellow. So it's sort of, I don't know, even the offensive things are kind of unoffensive in a strange fashion. Bit of a galloping Julian Opie, gallop dash, kind of fun. Those Julian Opies again. This one's kind of bland again. Weird.
Darn it, I do right now.
Weird. Funky David Hockney coffee table book, which you would actually need a new coffee table for, as it's so big. Possibly a new room. But yeah, it's kind of entertaining. It's like a little Taschen book zone, but it is a fine book, you've got to say. I was actually thinking this bit's kind of cool, because this is how you could display your NFTs. So you could buy your NFT and then you can display it on a TV. So you don't even need to have something on a canvas anymore. You literally just have it flying out of a special sort of thing and spinning around. How cool is that? Bit of Andrew Grassi here in this Berlin gallery, I think. Esther Schippen. Berlin. Oh, and there's a sort of thing drawing on its own over there. Nice. Hey everybody, so I finished strolling around Frieze London on the way to Frieze Masters. Frieze London was actually quite entertaining. Normally it can be a bit, boring is not quite the right word, but anyway, it can be a bit something that's not as amazing as you think. But I actually really enjoyed the sort of NFT Damien Hirst bit, where he must have been sponsored by LG televisions. Anyway, I thought it was kind of exciting. It's kind of fun to think of buying an NFT and watching it on a big LG TV. I thought that was really exciting, basically. And we shall, yeah. I made it really exciting, gave me kind of inspiration. Okay, cheerio guys, like and subscribe. Bye bye.
Bumbuckler.